Hey Siri, play Hung in America.
Welcome to episode 2 of Hung in America. My name is Ben, and I am a co-parent of Hung, who's here with me, talking about his exchange experience of a 17-year-old Vietnamese who somehow ended up in rural Greenville, Pennsylvania, a typical American town, you might say. So before we get into this episode is kind of talking about first impressions. I wanted to ask you, like, when you got started in the process, what were your expectations? What were you expecting? And then maybe how different from your expectations has this been?
So what I'm thinking is, American movie, Hollywood, like, making people thinking what is happening in America because this American culture, Hollywood. So I was expecting like cities and far away is houses with big yard and friendly people with all the color in the world. That is what I'm expecting. I don't really want to expect too much because I'm gonna fall really bad for expectation.
Yes. Yeah, set those expectations low and you'll always be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So first impressions. I do know that part of the program included like a little bio on Chris, who is like the primary caregiver in this situation. And you said that apparently the photo that you got was just of Chris's torso. His head had been cropped out.
That's right. So when I got the bio, I cannot see his face. His face has been cropped out somehow. I just can see a little bit of his beard, and I cannot see how is he looking like completely. I was imagining his ball or something. I was completely no idea.
Oh, that's great. That is great. So the suspense was certainly there because you had a headless host.
Yeah.
So, first impressions, your, other first impressions, like you land in America. Tell us about that. There was some sort of issues there too.
Oh yeah. So in Vietnam, we have no straight fly to America. So we have to go Japan and then from there go to Chicago and then Pittsburgh. And then, so when I got to Japan, my plane got delayed real long, like 3 hours. And when I got to Chicago, I was so afraid that my plane to Pittsburgh gonna be like, I gonna be late for the plane, and luckily
that's a big airport too. To
yeah,
have to
I
run
know.
through and find your next gate.
It's really lucky for me because that plane got delayed for 3 hours.
Oh, so you were able to get to the gate and then.
And that was really dark. That was so late.
Yeah, so you arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I arrived at Chris's house at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so awesome of Bob that he took me from the airport at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause Chris, I think, was supposed to pick you up.
And then really?
I think so. And then you got delayed so far. I think they just offered to do that, which was really nice of them. Yeah. So you arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning. Chris stayed up to greet you, or
yes.
he did? Okay, so it's pitch black. You show up at this house, and then the door opens.
So at that point, I still don't see his face in his
what?
Because it was so dark.
Oh,
and you remember in the house was so dark too.
Yeah.
So I just asked him one question: can I leave the shoe here or leave the shoe upstairs? He said, well, you can If it's dirty, we leave here. If not, you can bring it up. And I just up all night because I not really used to the timetable yet.
Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah.
the night in the US is the day in Vietnam. So
Almost 12 hours, right? 12-hour difference?
Yep.
Yeah.
12 hour different.
Yeah. Yeah, that takes some time to get in adjusting. And then the next morning you had to go straight to
Orientation.
orientation. Yeah. And so now you're at orientation. It's daylight. You wake up, or you never went to sleep. So you're just, you see the daylight coming and you start looking around your surroundings and what is going through your mind.
So the first impression is the bed is kind of small. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really small from my house in Vietnam. And that's all. That's my first impression. Like,
We're
first.
poor.
oh, okay. Don't worry.
We're poor compared to you.
Anyway, I woke up and going downstairs and look around, and it's daylight. I can see everything. And that looks just like a farm. That is a farm. People in here are horrible.
What?
Yeah, and stuff everywhere. Shoes is everywhere,
Yeah,
and it's dark. And
I will say I agree with you. The clutter situation in the house is, yeah, we've been working on that. And your room, actually, Chris has been very kind because he redid your room right before you got here. And so it was the nicest room in the house. You have the biggest bedroom. You're treated like royalty. The rest of the house, we gotta work with Chris on getting things a little bit tidy.
Yeah.
So you thought we were just a bunch of farm animals are here, and we just we're just some crazy hillbilly people.
Yeah, because at my house I really used to have a maid.
Oh.
Yeah. She make my bed every day. She cook me dinner, everything. I don't have to do anything, just go to school, go back. Yeah.
Aren't you lucky?
I know. We have to be rich to be here, to be honest. And a big change.
Yeah, big change. Well, I hope it's a good experience for you, having to do all of those things on your own now. Because it teaches you something about yourself when you know what I mean. You're taken into different circumstances. I went from maybe a middle class family to a very wealthy family in Germany. It wasn't noticeable with the house necessarily, although they did have a sauna in the basement, which was kind of cool. But it wasn't like super noticeable in like the living condition. But I knew that they were way better off than my family was. So yeah, and part of my exchange, I actually did 2 weeks in Dusseldorf, and that family that I stayed with was very wealthy. And it was a horrible experience. So yeah, rich people sometimes aren't that pleasant to be around. So, but poor people, on the other hand, we know how to make the best out of,
the less.
Yeah, best out of less. We'll put that on a shirt and sell it on the website. So what other first impressions of Chris, of me, of Jimmy? What are you thinking? They're like, who are these people?
Yeah, so the first person that I met was Chris, and the second was Jimmy, but he was not really around. He was really, disappear, reappear. And
he still does that.
Yeah. And when I saw the picture of you on the wall, I was guessing your face I was, yeah, it's because I saw a picture of you, but
People have said that that portrait of me that
Mhm.
hangs on the wall looks like a superhero.
yeah, I know.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, like so cool. But anyway, it was so long until I finally met you.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
pretty busy
Mhm.
sometimes, but I work throughout the day, so I
Mhm.
don't get home until 5 o'clock sometimes
Mhm.
or 6 o'clock. But yeah, so when
Mhm.
when you first started getting to know us, there's always
Mhm.
that awkward period where
It
you're kind of
is.
like, and still during that awkward period,
Mhm.
I was like, I'm going to Detroit. Hung needs to go with me because he needs to get as many experiences as he can out of
Mhm.
this. So it was like, you're coming to Detroit with me. I thought that was a really good trip though, that 1st
Mhm.
one, because we got to know each other better
Yeah.
through that.
I was.
And I farted in front of you for the first time.
I know, and that was really weird because people here farted publicly. Every they let each other know I am gonna fart. Be ready. That's so weird in Vietnam.
Especially when you
Yeah.
live, maybe not in every situation, but
Mhm.
when you live in a house with 3 guys, that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it was really lucky for me that I met 3 awesome guys here, and they are really nice to me, and I got more than expected.
That's awesome to
Mhm.
hear. And we'll have episodes kind of covering, episode talking about Chris's cooking. We'll have an episode coming out about Jimmy,
Mhm.
who actually now is like a student teacher in your physics class.
That is it's gonna be a really awesome episode. I have so much to talk about him.
Oh, I can't wait too.
Yeah.
I love talking about Jimmy.
Wow.
All right. So are there any other first impressions that you want to share?
The outside is really awesome because you have a big yard with grass, and that's awesome. It's something luxury in Ho Chi Minh City you cannot afford.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the space just isn't there for it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And why I'm in Pennsylvania is I love snow.
Really?
Yeah. So I got snow in the first time when I went to China, and really touching into snow when I went to Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
But-
now,
Mhm.
and now you're getting into the thick of it.
In the thick of it.
Yeah, we just had,
Mhm.
although Pennsylvania weather is just, I mean, yesterday we had, or 2 days ago, we had,
Mhm.
a couple inches of snowfall within just a matter of
Yeah.
hours. And now today it's all melted away because it's going to rain for the next few days and it's
Mhm.
going to be 60 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like up and down really quick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's quite annoying actually because you never
Mhm.
know what to wear.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, join us next episode 3, where we talk about high school life with Hung at Greenville High School. And we hope to see you there.